Oh, welcome. I feel like we have some people slowly trickling in. Super nice to meet everybody here. I love to see that we've got people from all over New York City. Hey, Pete. And we got Robert from Berlin, lots of Canadians. We got Audrey in Montreal. Sounds like we've got lots of people from Toronto. Oh, Carly in LA. Sunshine. It's cold here in Toronto right now, so I'm very jealous. But yeah, it's nice to meet everybody. We love to keep these conversations very active, so feel free to chat with everybody in the chat. Jesse from Birmingham. Wow, that's fantastic. Perfect. I'm going to jump right into this. Yes, 20 degrees yesterday for those in Toronto or outside of Toronto. We had amazing, phenomenal weather yesterday. We were at 20s, and then today, now it's like rainy and cold. But that's okay. We'll jazz things up for this webinar. Today, we're going to talk to you guys about we're going to share 5 tools on how to scale your customer experience in 2025. And these webinar series we do pretty often, and how we like to structure these, of course, keep it super conversational. If you guys have any questions, we have our experts here. So definitely ask questions in the chat, give us some feedback because we all need feedback. And we're all here to really engage with you guys. And of course, use the hashtag DTCX if you guys are posting anything on socials. Fantastic. And our lineup of speakers today, myself, I am a strategic partner manager here at Gorgias. We have Carly Dodell, who's the manager of ecosystem partnerships at ShipBob, Mike Davies, who is the director of sales at Noibu, and of course, Nigel Bannister, who is also technology partner manager at AfterShip. Please stay tuned until the end of this webinar because we've got some really great giveaways, some gift cards to Amazon, Visa, and much, much more. And I'll actually start us all off here today. I'm going to chat with you guys about 5 tools on how to scale your customer experience and how to deliver faster, smarter, and more efficient customer experiences. I'm based here in Toronto, Gorgias. We're a pretty international company at this point. And if you guys haven't heard about us, do feel free to shoot me a message and I can dive into deeper about what we do. But today I want to talk with you guys about some strategies on how we're helping our brands today. Let's dive into it. So we all know customer expectations are always evolving, but in 2025, this is where we're going to start seeing customers really looking for instant responses when they reach out to brands today. So some key trends to keep in mind are how are you guys offering your customer instant responses? Are you guys evaluating any type of automation or AI-powered solutions today? And how are you guys incorporating these solutions in your day-to-day? And as well as staying cost-effective, right? What are some tools that you guys are looking to evaluate today where it can be cost-effective, but also a tool that can help you guys scale as you guys continue to grow as a brand? So my first tip here and first tool to recommend is something that's AI powered and that's support agents. Why, you may ask? Because majority of customer inquiries are repetitive. So questions like, where is my order? How can I update my subscription? These are the type of questions that are flooding brands' inboxes today. And 60% of these can actually be automated by AI today. Not only does this speed up response times, but it also helps free up agent time so that they can focus on those high value interactions. So like I mentioned, order management, right? Cancellations, changing address, tracking updates. Have AI agent fully automate these support tickets so that your team can focus on anything that needs more of a human touch. My second tool here is having some type of self-service solution. customers, when they're on a brand's website, they're looking to be able to find answers themselves. In fact, 81% of customers try to resolve issues on their own without before reaching out to support. So some of our best brands are utilizing AI-powered help centers. So what that looks like is having your AI be able to pull information from the help center to answer any customer inquiries today, and as well as having some type of interactive FAQ to deliver those instant responses. And lastly, having smart chatbots that guide customers through the right solution. This isn't just about deflection, but it's also about empowering customers with the right information at the right time. My second tool here is one of the biggest pain points for customer support teams is order and subscription management. So customers are constantly asking for updates. Think about how you guys shop. The moment that you guys order something, you want to see where it's coming from, right? The moment it leaves the fulfillment center to being in the truck and, minutes away from arrival. Customer service teams are being flooded with these questions, and we can use automation today to help answer some of these tickets so that some of the other tickets don't get missed and causing backlog. Another piece here is scaling support isn't just about efficiency, but it's also about understanding your customers today. So what that looks like is using AI to be able to understand the sentiment of what these tickets are coming in about, right? So our AI can deflect frustration and help prioritize tickets that are urgent. We could say, hey, Jenny, we can detect that Jenny's pissed off, right? Let's prioritize this ticket before it escalates into maybe a bad review, right? So our AI today is able to help, identify those sentiments to be able to prioritize those tickets. And what's really interesting here that brands are actually using AI-driven insights to help increase their CSAT scores, right? By having a sentiment, an AI to be able to pick up these sentiments, it helps our brands increase their CSAT scores by about 20%. And of course, live chat has become the preferred support channel. So again, I love to think about how I even like to shop as a consumer today. I'm often going on a website and trying to find answers through a chat. I'm not looking all over the website for answers. I'm looking for a chat that can instantly answer my questions. And it shows 72% of customers are looking for a chat to speak with over email today. And what's really great about having chat as well is, especially AI powered, is having 24/7 support around the clock, right? We know that your teams are going to have to eventually sleep. Why not have AI agent cover the graveyard shifts? And what's also really great about AI, in addition to your support team, is that it can respond 10 times faster than a human agent today. I wanted to share a quick case study here with our brand Glamnetic, one of the brands that we support today. So they actually took advantage of our AI agent to help their support teams. And what that looks like is our AI agent being able to automate 40% of their tickets today, and also being able to respond to their customers sooner. So customer reaches out, within 42 seconds, they get a response. And we've actually been able to help them not have to hire seasonally. So we've usually during the holiday season, they hire 2 extra agents, and our AI agent was able to step in so they didn't have to acquire that extra cost. And then AI agent for sales. We have it in beta right now, but what that looks like is being able to recommend products through conversational AI, which we've been able to help them achieve the 20% conversion rate. So just a couple of key takeaways. Scaling CX in 2025 isn't just about hiring more agents, but it's about working smarter with AI today. Brands that invest in these 5 tools will not only reduce customer support costs, but also enhance their customer experience. If you have any questions today related on how you want to automate it, if you have any questions today about how you can automate more of your customer support, please feel free to scan this barcode, chat with our team, and we'll dive into how we can help you save time and money. And that wraps up for my presentation here with Gorgias. I would love to introduce our next guest, Carly from ShipBob. I will welcome you onto the stage.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jenny, for having me. And Glamnetics is an amazing brand and has really great customer support. I know I've chatted with them about what lashes are best for me, so I can attest that they are using Gorgias to the fullest.
Yes, we love Glenac over here. All yours, Carly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And if you can just give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen, we will be good to go. How are we looking? Jenny, I can't hear you.
So we're good to go. I can see your
Okay.
screen.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I will jump right into it. Thank you so much, Gorgias, for having me. Again, my name is Carly Dowdell. I manage the partnerships team here at ShipBob. For anyone that's not familiar with ShipBob, we help brands fulfill all their orders. We have 60 warehouses in the US and we have global locations as well. Brands can send their physical inventory to one of our locations or multiple locations, and we can pick, pack, and ship out their inventory for them, as well as for any brands self-fulfilling on this call or any brands that have their own warehouse. We have our WMS, which stands for Warehouse Management System, it's the technology that powers all of our 60 plus warehouses, and you can take advantage of our software in your own warehouse. And then some of my favorite brands, just to name a few that use ShipBob, Spikeball, Chamberlain Coffee, Touchland, Our Place, Clear Stem, Beach Waver, and Bloom Nutrition. So to get into it, I know we're really here to talk about why the customer experience matters. And I think these three stats do a really good job at that. So 86% of shoppers are willing to pay more for great customer service. 88% of customers consider their experience as important as the product or service itself. And then 70% of purchase decisions depend on the customer service quality. So I think all the speakers on this call do a really great job at how to really up level your custom experience, but just know it matters. Customers want to know after they make that purchase that they are taken care of during the buying decision and post buying decision. So today I'm going to get into one of our client case studies, which is Barefaced. They're a skincare brand. They've gone viral multiple times on TikTok, on Instagram. A really cool brand. If you're not familiar with them, please check them out. Their products are honestly phenomenal. But Barefaced was looking for a fulfillment center as they were self-fulfilling themselves, which I'm sure some people listening might be as well. And like any brand, their main goal was growth, and they were growing really fast. And when you're self-fulfilling, you have product at your house, you're inviting your friends over to help pick, pack orders, you're spending your weekends focusing on the picking and the packing and going to UPS, going to Canada Post, wherever to drop those orders off. And it's just not a scalable approach. So when Barefaced was ready to finally start looking for a fulfillment center, they wanted a 3PL that had multiple locations. And a really good example of this, as you can see on this graph, this one fulfillment center in California, essentially how you can interpret this is think of like all the blue shades and the purple bad. That means it's taking 6 to 7 days to get to the end customer coming from California. So what Barefaced did and what many other brands do is they distribute their inventory, and ShipBob makes this really easy. So you can see by turning on a California location, a Texas location, and I think this is like right outside of New York and like Pennsylvania, these three locations make that light blue, those blue shades and purple completely disappear, meaning that the order is getting to the end customer faster and at a more cost-effective rate. So this was really important to Barefaced. One of their, main challenges was trying to deliver to customers fast and at a cost affordable rate, which when you're shipping from California and going all the way to the East Coast, it begins to become expensive for postage. And then also to layer onto this in a great customer example of what Barefaced did is they have spend, I don't know exactly what it is, but spend $150, spend $200 and unlock free shipping, unlock free day, 2 day free shipping. And really what we're able to do is we're able to say, okay, we know that we're going to ship it to someone in California. Maybe they're in San Francisco. We'll ship it from our California warehouse. And we know that it's going to get there in 2 days. And you can use a standard ground carrier versus then an expedited carrier. So something they take advantage of and really helps convert customers when they see that spend threshold and unlock 2 day shipping. And then also it just makes their fulfillment more sound. I think we all know Texas somehow now gets snow, which is quite crazy, but they do. And so if a carrier can't pick up from one location, they're able to essentially go and say, okay, let's reroute all of these orders from Texas to our California facility. And maybe it takes an extra 2 days to get to the end customer, but that's definitely a better experience than having to potentially cancel orders or have this, large delay in the order being shipped out. So 2 challenges that they face and kind of how they overcame both of those. And then second, they had as a brand is going viral, naturally, you're going to get more customer support questions. I know I am the person, brands probably hate to see me coming, but if I see my orders coming and my order's wrong, I'm reaching out to customer support. I may be sending them a DM on Instagram, just really trying to get in front of the issue. And I think a lot of people do that today. And that was something that they were really struggling with, being a viral product. And so what they were able to do is use Gorgias to essentially put all of those customer support tickets into one place. And then an added layer of how they took it to the next step is they used our ShipBob and Gorgias integration. And really what that does is it gives all fulfillment updates, what's going on in the warehouse, whether it's being picked, whether it's being packed, whether there's a weather delay. It's pushing all of that information to Gorgias so that either AI can respond to the customer with the most accurate information, or it just arms the customer support rep to say, hey, unfortunately, it looks like UPS or Canada Post can't get to our warehouse in Texas because of weather. However, it looks like they're going to be able to pick up tomorrow at 1 p.m. is when you can expect your order to ship out. So it's a lot easier of a conversation when you have all the information versus just saying, hey, your order's maybe going to ship out tomorrow. Just getting ahead of the issue, whatever it may be, always ends up in a better customer experience and being able to give the level of detail that we can push into Gorgias. The third thing that they experienced was custom packaging. This was really important to them and really hard to do when they were self-fulfilling their product. They were just worried about getting orders out of the door, and they were just using, the standard brown corrugated boxes. So when they were looking for a 3PL, it was really important for them to have this custom unboxing experience. As a viral product, people are opening up their products on TikTok lives, on Instagram. So being able to have this unboxing experience was something that they wanted to do. And ShipBob is definitely able to do that. When in the warehouse, when we are picking the product, we actually have a video playing for the rep picking the product and packing it on how it should be packaged. And another important thing with them was breakage, right? When you think of skincare, you think of beauty products, it's very easily able to explode. It's able to break or get damaged. So with ShipBob, depending on what's in the order, we will allocate the correct box for it. So if it's 1 unit versus 10 units, we'll make sure to use the box where things aren't really shifting around and moving. And we do that automatically. And that also helps keep the price down, right? The bigger the box, the heavier it is, the more postage is versus the lighter the box and the smaller the box. So 2 things that were really important to them that we were able to help them achieve. And then fourth, they are a huge subscription company. It's really important to them to deliver on their subscription customers. And so with ShipBob, essentially how it works is we pull in all the orders the day before the order is supposed to be shipped out, we go ahead and we pre-kit, pre-package those orders. So the day that they need to be shipped out, when Bareface head of operations logs into the ShipBob dashboard, they can see all of their orders have a label on them and are just waiting for the carrier to pick them out. This is really important for them, as subscription is a huge piece of their business. And ShipBob is definitely able to help make sure that those orders get out on the day that they say they're going to get out on. Plus, we can do things like, for any first-time buyer, we can add in a custom insert or maybe a custom sample of a top seller that maybe they didn't order. So something else that was super important for them, being a big subscription-based business. And last but not least, these are all the things that we really help them achieve. And I think that things that Bareface themselves do really well. So effortless and order fulfillment, really, automating the process with ShipBob. We're able to look at their order history. We're able to send their product to multiple warehouses, and we're able to also tell them how much inventory to send to those warehouses. And then seamless technology. Bareface uses our integration with TikTok, with Gorgias, with Klaviyo to really help streamline their process. And then enhanced customer experience with custom packaging. And then I will leave off with a quote from Christina, their head of e-commerce. She says, "Logistics is challenging and time consuming. And as a small team wearing many hats, we needed a partner to handle it for us. ShipBob does what would take 10 plus employees. It's amazing how much they can manage." So take Christina's word for it. And then for anyone that has any questions, please reach out to us. You can reach out to this email right here. And then for any new merchants that are interested in getting a pricing quote or just have any questions, feel free to scan this barcode. We have some really cool savings for anyone on this call. We're offering $1,000 in free shipping credits, 90% off implementation, and some branded truck wraps for brands that apply. And just note, this is for any net new merchants. And with that, Jenny, I will hand it back off to you.
Sweet. Thank you, Carly. I love that you guys adjust the size of the package to the product, because I'm all about less packaging when I receive an item. So it's awesome that you guys do that.
Nice.
Carly, before you jump off, we actually have a couple of questions here. Emily Heller says, does ShipBob have any plans to integrate with Gorgias to enable its AI agent to cancel orders?
Yeah, it's something we're definitely looking into. AI is such a huge play for Gorgias, and we want it to be as easy as possible for brands to be able to cancel and edit orders. So yes, would love to chat with you more through this, but yes, we are definitely looking into that.
Awesome. And we have Christian here. What is the average percentage of cost savings companies see when switching from managing their own fulfillment to delivery to using ShipBob?
Yeah, it really depends on the brand. I would say when it makes sense, I can talk through like the cost savings, depending on like your product and what it retails for, what you sell it for, all the things. But really, I would say when it makes sense to start to look at just any 3PL is typically when you're doing around 300 to 400 orders per month. And then when you're averaging around 600 to, I believe it's 800, is when it makes sense to go ahead and distribute your inventory. But again, it all depends on your product. If you have a heavyweight product, distributing your inventory might help you right away, just because we know the heavier the product, the more expensive shipping is. So honestly, very dependent, but would love to chat with you, would love to understand what you're doing for fulfillment and potentially how we can help and if we can save you any money, which I know is always important.
Fantastic. And I'm going to squeeze in one more question. Is there higher cost associated with distributing stock across multiple fulfillment centers, or just one through ShipBob?
Yeah, so essentially how the pricing works is we have an inventory placement program that you can opt into. Think of it as like Amazon logistics, right? Where we're going ahead and we're looking at your orders and we are distributing inventory on your behalf. Really what you're paying for is to move that freight to different fulfillment centers, and then you're paying for warehousing. The one thing I will say that's really nice about ShipBob is our warehousing is prorated. So if you sell out of that stock right when it hits our warehouse, we're not charging you for the fulfillment. But again, really case by case basis, depends on how many SKUs you have and really what your product is. But yeah, would love to, of course, further chat about that as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carly, for answering these questions. Fantastic. If you guys have any more, please feel free to send Carly a message. But we'll introduce our next guest.
Thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. So we have our next guest from Noibu. We've got Mike Davies here, who is the Director of Sales. Mike, I'm going to let you take it away.
It's nice to meet everyone. Jenny, thank you for the introduction. Head of Sales at Noibu. I've worked in this space for the better part of 5 years. So if there are questions throughout what I'm going to show you guys, drop them in the chat and I can answer as they go if it makes sense, or we can save them for the end. Also, Carly, awesome presentation. Good job on that. So getting into this, can everybody see my screen okay? Looking like a yes. Cool. So topic we're going to cover here is the hidden customer experience killer, or one of many hidden customer experience killers. We're going to talk about friction points for customers, specifically issues on the website. And when we say issues on the website, we care about the ones obviously hurting revenue and that are driving customers away from our website. When we think about customer experience and optimizing customer experience, we're looking at the end-to-end experience. So from the moment a customer starts to engage with us all the way to the time that we actually deliver their project, or their product, of course. All of this begins with the initial engagement in e-commerce online. When they get into your store, how do we drive them through the funnel and make sure they end up clicking place order so that we can get to fulfillment and everything there? If we cannot give a good experience in the path to purchase, there's not much point in working on the fulfillment or anything else on that side of it because we can't get them there. So how can we make sure and optimize for that experience? A big gap here and the missing piece is we need to be able to do this proactively. Companies will typically, at least at some point, have a reliance on a customer or a person to tell them about a negative experience they've had, which obviously is suboptimal because if they are telling us about it, it means it's too late. So why is this a problem? If obviously your customers are having errors or friction points on your website, it's going to lead to a drop in conversion. When I say friction points and errors, just to give you guys some ideas to what I'm talking about here, when people use the word error, they can think of a whole bunch of different things. These could be buttons not working, like an add to cart button, a payment gateway not working. It could do with the cross-domain functionality between the payment gateway and your website. These could be performance-related issues. So think your core web vitals or Lighthouse score and all the stuff we love about SEO, and a slow website equaling a drop in conversion. This could be general UI. I'm sure when I say issue, a lot of you will jump to, is it just a customer problem? Do they not really just understand how to navigate through the website? We want to be able to pin down what specifically is the problem, what are specifically the friction points occurring on our website that will stop a customer from being able to move forward and continue with their checkout, but without them having to actually say something to us. The reason that wanting to move to a proactive is so important. And when I say proactive, I mean not relying on customers, not just because it's too late when a customer calls you or emails you or messages and tries to figure it out with Gorgias AI. It's about also the fact that most customers aren't going to actually take the time to report an issue. I don't want to bore everyone with statistics, but including with the one on the screen here, if you all take time to think about it, how often do you think a customer will take the time to report an issue? It varies based on product. It varies based on how commoditized or uncommoditized the product is, but it's usually averaging below 5%. which means most issues don't get reported at all to begin with. So we have kind of a compounding problem. We don't want customers to have to report them, but also we don't want to rely on customers to report them. These stats kind of point to why customers aren't going to report. They'll just jump to somewhere else. There's loyalty in certain brands, less loyalty in others, but people are going to go where it's easy. They're going to follow path of least resistance. I've been using the word a lot as I've been going through this, but proactive customer experience monitoring is really obviously what everyone would like to go to, specifically with the advent of AI and what this is bringing to industry. It will surface another issue though. We can get inundated with problems, and then we no longer have an issue of, well, what problems are out there? What don't we know about? This becomes immediately a triage issue. How do we make sure we're focused on the right stuff? And if we're in e-commerce, if we're in the space in general, of course, we care about the stuff that's hurting our key KPIs, conversion, revenue the most. So being able to attach numbers, quantification to the issues is, of course, most important. One customer calling in and saying, couldn't add to cart, not quite the same thing as 1,000 customers having an Apple Pay problem. And the last piece here, the third point on the page, is we need to also be able to do something about that. An alarm bell isn't great if you don't have anything to put out the fire with. We need to be able to understand, of course, how to actually fix the problem. All of you likely have experience, or in some facet, you get something reported to you, and what does everyone ask? Could you do it yourself? Could you reproduce it? What were the requirements that lead to it? Sometimes that's easy. Sometimes it's not so much. The reason those questions are asked, of course, is because that's what allows for someone to do something about the problem. This is really just kind of wrapping this all together. Every aspect of customer experience and making sure it's optimized is important. Whether we're talking about support, fulfillment, post-purchase automation, this is all super important. But if a customer cannot interact with us, if a customer can't get to purchase to begin with, then it kind of becomes null and void that all of these other things exist. We need to be able to get to that point, have the customer transact in order for this to continue to make sense. And I don't want to go too much into it, but this is where Noibu can be of help to some of you. We do offer a free website scan. This is both free to cost and free to commitment. So if you do sign up and want to get a checkout audit or a website audit of your top performance issues, your top errors in your website, feel free to follow this link. It takes about 2 weeks in order to gather enough information to actually put together the report. And there's no strings attached. So you can walk away with the information, or you can see the long-term value of being able to continuously monitor your website and always know the friction points that are most impactful to your customers without having to rely on them to tell you about them. If anyone has questions, I'm happy to dive into that.
Thank you so much, Mike. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to message Mike. Mike, if you want to drop your email below so people can contact you, that would be fantastic.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. As promised, I have got a giveaway for the most active person during our session. This giveaway is from ShipBob. It's a $75 gift card, and this is going to Kristen Clark. Congratulations, Kristen. Keep an eye out in your inbox from Carly for this gift card. Sweet. Yes, Cassandra, we love a free audit. Please feel free to message Mike. We're introducing our next speaker. We've got Nigel Bannister, who is the Technology Partner Manager at AfterShip. Welcome, Nigel.
Thank you, Jenny. Thanks so much for having me. Today on this webinar, we're going to be diving into CX beyond the buy button. So talking post-purchase, specifically double clicking on the order tracking experience. So between order being confirmed and when the parcel has actually made its way to your customer. So if you think about it in this stage, the customer is already paid. They don't have their product yet. So it's a period of, high emotion at times, uncertainty. And so the stakes are high when it comes to customer satisfaction and building trust for your brand. So how brands handle this directly impacts that trust, CSAT, and also long-term loyalty and lifetime value of your customer. So the top performers don't just treat it as, I guess, a logistics step, but they're actually turning it into an experience that actively delights their customers, reduces their support tickets, and drives retention and revenue. So we're going to talk through some competitive advantages that merchants are gaining in this tracking experience. So this is me. My name's Nigel. I'm a tech partner manager at AfterShip. So I work with both brands and our technology partners just to craft seamless post-purchase experiences. A bit about AfterShip, if you haven't heard of us before, we are powering post-purchase for 20,000 plus global brands. We've tracked over 8 billion shipments, and we've actually processed 10.8 million returns as well with our return solution. We make returns easy, encourage more exchanges, things like that. But today we are going to be focusing on tracking. So we've all had an experience, I'm sure, where we've placed an order, we get a tracking number, maybe to a DHL tracking page or a third-party carrier, and nothing's happening. We're reaching out to support, we're not really sure. And the challenge here is what we've really experienced here is a handoff in the customer experience at this most critical time when they're engaged, they're eager for their package, they've already paid. And so you want to keep them, in most cases, in an experience that you have control over. So the solution is what you're looking at on this screen here, and that's a branded tracking page, an experience where you keep your customers informed with accurate real-time updates. You can use AfterShip's live data to trigger email and SMS communications, either natively through AfterShip or a Klaviyo, for example. And this is going to reduce the amount of where is my order tickets when you're communicating these shipment events proactively. You can also combine with a help desk partner like Gorgias we have here on the call today to give your support team full shipment visibility. And you can also add the Gorgias widget to your tracking page. So while you're reducing those where's my tracking link type support tickets, you're also making yourself more available right on that tracking page when they do have something important that needs agent intervention, just beyond where can I find my tracking link? Some of you might be thinking, why not just use the default sort of Shopify order tracking page and updates that go out if you are on Shopify? There's two reasons. The first one really is in the data. So Shopify tracking pages have an API latency that can be up to 6 hours, meaning your customers and your support agents, if they're relying on that, aren't going to be up to date on what's actually happening with their order. But the second piece to that puzzle is the fact that there's no branding opportunity or the ability to add calls to action on a Shopify tracking page. So if you can see here on this Gymshark example, alongside all the tracking information, you can see right here that we actually easily handle split shipments as well. And when we've turned this tracking experience into something where your customers are very informed and they're actually delighted with your ability to provide these insights, they're now in a position where you can add some of these call to actions, check out our new releases. You can put AI product recommendations on the tracking page. You can do loyalty call to action, things like review requests right on the tracking page. So you're priming your customers through this CX boost of taking control of the tracking experience. And now you can actually start to turn it into a retention driver where you're capturing repeat purchases that are directly attributed to your tracking experience. Next, I want to talk about estimated delivery dates. And this is one of my favorite things to discuss because it actually starts to reframe how we think about post-purchase in general. Because an estimated delivery date actually lives on your product description pages and at checkout. And so if you can think of a time when you have, let's say, a vacation coming up and you need to buy something online, or any experience where you need to buy something online and you need it from a certain time, I'd love to call on you guys. I give a $20 gift card to whoever can tell me what your go-to website is when you need to know exactly when a package is going to arrive. If anything comes to mind, just share it in the chat. All right, we'll give it another second, but I'll put it in here myself. Amazon. So a lot of people go to Amazon because there's that estimated delivery date on those pages. And so you know exactly when your product is going to be coming. This plays into, say what you will about Amazon, but people really trust Amazon because they've really nailed this post-purchase experience. And we have this need for cognitive closure as humans, where our brain prefers, to make a call to action, like placing an order, when we know exactly when the package is going to arrive. So what AfterShip is doing is bringing this Amazon-like post-purchase experience with the estimated delivery dates and bringing it to the greater e-commerce industry. So you can post estimated delivery dates on checkout and on your PDPs. We actually see a 3% lift in website conversions when this is enabled. To make it really easy to track your order, further boost that customer experience, you actually have the ability to add your tracking info to your Apple Wallet. So just with a few clicks on the side of your iPhone, there your tracking information is. Customers don't need to dig through their email to find that tracking link. Once they've gotten it, you can add an easy track with Apple Wallet call to action on the branded tracking page and really just improve the customer journey and meet your customers where they are when you're providing this critical information. Speaking of meeting your customers where they are, you can also support the same order tracking experience with all the benefits we talked about prior to some omni-channel settings where you can track your order in a buy online, pick up in store, or buy online and ship to store. Tracking page is just the same. We'll provide a branded experience, send real-time updates, and make pickup as seamless as possible. So when customers are eager to go to the store and get their tracking, pick up their shipment, they'll know exactly with live data when it's arrived and they can make it same day. Instead of relying on maybe like a latent API that could only fire delivered once the store is already closed. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time today. Scaling post-purchase CX, it's not just about tracking page, but just about owning the whole customer relationship, making it as seamless as possible because, as we discussed, post-checkout, the money's left the bank account of your customers and they're really, their trust is in your hands to deliver on that experience. If anybody is interested in seeing what a branded tracking solution would look like, we can actually do live mock-ups based on your store URL. So if that's interesting, just drop a yes in the chat and I can follow up with a PDF of what your branded tracking experience could look like. All right, thanks, Jenny. I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks, Nigel. Sorry, I think there's one question before you jump off from Cassandra. I don't know if you've answered this or saw this, but does AfterShip work well with return platforms or would it replace them?
So we talked a lot about order tracking today. AfterShip returns is another side of our platform, which would replace a return solution. So it lives on your site. It's a portal. Your customers can self-serve return options. It'll automatically reconcile differences in return policy, so they're not arguing with your support agents. So I would say it would replace your returns portal, but it integrates with our own tracking solution, and that both the brand and the customer can see every step of the way in terms of where that returns package is, and if it's an exchange, the status of that package coming back to the customer.
Awesome. Thanks for answering that. I actually had a package that was shipped from AfterShip the other day, and I loved that Apple Wallet feature because I was able to watch it real time. But it's super cool to see some of our tech partners like live with some of the brands that we purchase from every day. But awesome. Thank you so much, Nigel, for joining us today.
Thank you, Jenny.
Sweet. Awesome. Nigel, if I can just jump in here for my little quick last slide. I think you just have to unshare your presentation. I do have one more giveaway, so don't leave just yet. How can I present?
There we go.
Thank you. Sweet. So that kind of wraps up everything here with our DTCX web series. I would love to invite you guys to our next global webinar, which is on April 2nd to 3rd. And this will be a jam-packed day. We talk everything e-commerce. We've got agency partners, tech partners, and all new release for everything to come with Gorgias. So please RSVP here. And our last giveaway, we are handing this off to Cassandra Redstone. And this thank you to Noibu for this one. So keep an eye out in your email and inbox for this gift card, Cassandra. But that wraps things up for 5 tools to scale your CX. I hope you guys learned something, and we hope to see you next time at our global. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.